Alrighty, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to the video. This is episode 1 of Master the Meta, where I go over meta specific tips, tricks, techniques, strategies, whatnot to help you succeed in chapter 4 season 1. So we're going to start with make basically a tier list for augments. Now if you don't know what augments are, they're basically Call of Duty perks, but they're specific to Fortnite. You get them every 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You have one free reroll each game, and then it's 100 gold for another reroll. I don't know if you want to get a reroll again and then roll again after that. I don't know if it probably increases to like 200, 300, 400, whatever, but maybe it's 100 gold all the way through. Anyway, just as a little note, there are some perks that aren't actually in competitive. So examples of that is the Chug Gunner, the 2 vehicle ones, the Storm Mark, and then there's another one that I can't remember. But basically here we have a tier list. We have OP, good, balance, shit, dog shit. So we're going to start off with the aerial list. I think this is called. Yep. And basically it's a redeploy glider. I'm going to put this in good just because having that redeploy is basically a guaranteed way to not take fall damage. So if you're a height team and you like to play up on the height, having this is pretty fucking broken because if you get chopped down, it doesn't really matter. You can just pull your shoot and you're fine. Now the downside of that is that this is duos this season, which means that it's really going to be kind of unfortunate if your teammate doesn't have glider redeploy, because if you get chopped on height, then they're probably dead and you'll be fine. But it's not on OP because they did make that change a while back where glider redeploy, instead of moving kind of fast, crawl at a fucking snail's pace. So if you use it incorrectly, then you're going to be pretty much fucked, but compared to everything else, it's pretty good. Next we have Bloodhound. This is dog shit. Now what this is that if you use a DMR or a bow, it marks your opponent on the map, kind of like the recon scanner or that like silenced pistol last season. Okay, like that's cool and all, but I mean it's not that, like, you won't use it. If you're using a DMR, you're already behind the meta anyway, because that's kind of shit compared to the other weapons. And if you're using a bow, it's like, you know, it doesn't really matter that you can see them that much compared to unless you try to do like a 3-2-1. But even then, that's like very situational and bad. Next, we have Bow Specialist. This basically makes when you draw back your bow and release, that time is quicker, and you actually, sorry, that's a Sprite burp. You actually regenerate your arrows, which is kind of good, but I'm going to put that in the shit category because the only way you're using bows is if you get the mechanical bow perk, which you can't even get in competitive. So it's actually shit because you shouldn't be using a bow really at all unless they one-shot headshot, which I don't think they do. So I guess honestly bows might become meta again, so maybe I'll put that shit just because bows might become meta. People might run bows just to, you know, hit for like 190 or some shit like that. But it's shit, but it's shit, borderline dog shit. Next we have Bush Warrior. Basically this means if you're in a bush, you'll start regenerating health and shield, not the same, health or shield depending on whichever one you're low. That one's okay. It's like, you know, how many times are you actually going to, you know, if you're doing something where your teammate's based up and you're hiding in a bush, you're getting your storm surge tags or whatever, eventually people are going to know you're in the bush and they're going to crack you. And then I guess you heal back at the same time, so it could work. But if they double spray the bush and they happen to both hit you and both dink you, then you're going to die and it's kind of pointless. But I'll put it in the balanced category because it is balanced. Next we have First Assault. I think this is good, borderline OP, but I say I'll put it as good right now. I think it's probably not as good as the redeploy, but basically what it is that the first bullet in every single magazine is extra damage. Now this is really important if you run the red eye, the scoped in assault rifle, because it's kind of like a tap fire weapon and it's hit scan, so it does, if you have good aim, it's going to do a lot of damage. If you hit in the head, it's going to do a lot of damage, and if you have first assault perk, it's also going to do more damage. That's why it's really good. Next we have Forecast. This is OP. Basically you can see the next storm. It's the Storm Scout rifle, but for every single zone, and it doesn't take up a spot. It's a perk. Fucking broken. Very OP. If you get it, you should be positioned in the best spot possible. You should never be below surge. You should basically maybe even have height if you're the first team there. If you get this perk, there's no reason why you don't make it to end game. Borderline cap, and absolutely chilling. If you get, like, literally, if you get this perk, there's a good chance you're going to win the game. Next, we have Jelly Angler. This is basically when you fish up, like, you get this fishing rod, and when you fish, you only can get jellyfish. That's it. But you get a fuck ton of them, and it doesn't even have to be holes. You can fish anything. Let me find this tweet here by NPen where we can kind of see how much jellyfish he gets, and he gets a fuck ton of them. Like, actually, like, I'd say probably like more than like 200 of them. So what does this mean? It means Gray Strat is probably alive currently, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay alive. Oh, where's the tweet out? There it is. So here's the tweet right here. We can see stacks of threes. There's like, I don't know. And there's like, honestly, probably like 500, 600, 700 jellyfish here. Pretty crazy, to say the least. Pretty crazy. A lot of jellyfish, but it's going to get nerfed because Epic Games hates the Cray Strat. And I know Cray's already probably formulating some idea in his mind right now on how he can use this and blah, blah, blah. So because of that, right now I'll put it in OP, but it's probably going to be balanced or shit or dog shit in the future. But let's throw it in OP right now. But in like, if we were really realistic with it, you know, you have to get this perk either really early on, so one of your first perks, because you're going to use it early game, or you have to get it in a mid game and hope that you're near like a watering hole, so like a pond, a lake, or something. And if not, then it's kind of fucking useless. So it's kind of, it's OP, but it's kind of like pretty situational. But I'll put it in OP right now. Next we have Light Fingers. This is also overpowered. SMGs, we all hate them, but for some reason Epic keeps adding in ones that are more and more broken. These SMGs aren't as bad as like the Combat and the Stinger, but it's up there. The 2 magazine one is pretty fucking annoying. The Uzis, I'd say, pretty balanced. But basically the Light Fingers make it so if you're reloading the weapon with light ammo, you reload faster. So if you're running the SMG and you have a lot of light ammo, you can just and then fucking reload and shoot again. Like, it already reloads super fast, but now it's like super fast if you have that. So because of that, that is OP. Next we have more parkour. I'm gonna put this in the balanced, and I honestly would probably put it below the Bush Warrior, just because, you know, in theory it sounds good. Basically, when you mantle or hurdle something, your sprint bar regenerates faster. But if you really think about it, when you're hurdling, that's just something that happens kind of automatic when like something's too small for you to mantle. And so it's like, okay, yippee, my regen bar is coming back up. And when you're mantling, it's like you're usually just going for that mantle up pump shot in their fucking dome. And you're not really caring about sprinting. This is definitely like a 0 build perk. I'd say it's balanced, borderline shit, but I'll put it in balance right now because it's definitely better than the Boast Specialist. Next, we have Party Time. Basically, you get balloons, dog shit. You can shoot the balloons and still take fall damage. Next, we have Pistol Amp. I'll put this one also in balance, because all it does is increase your magazine size of your pistol. And the pistols are pretty strong right now, so if you do land somewhere that's pretty shambles and you don't have a lot of loot there, you could split up your weapons. So let's say I hold the AR and my teammate holds the pistol, and getting this perk could help them with spraying and assist me. Next is Rifle Recycle. I say this is good as well. I don't know the exact stats, but basically what this does is that when you're shooting, some of your bullets just don't count. So let's say I'm shooting 30 bullets. Maybe I have 5 or 10 bullets that don't actually get used. So you get like a free bullet. That's sweet. Okay, if you're shambles, again, if you land at a pretty like mid, like shit to mid spot, you only have 100, 150 AR bullets each, getting this perk can actually save you a lot of ammo. But if you land somewhere where you have 500, 400, 300 AR, it's like, okay, I save out on 20 bullets. I have like another 400 in the fucking arsenal. Now we have Russian Reload. I'd say this one's probably good as well. I'd probably put it, I'll put it at the end of good. Maybe balance. Let's throw it in balance. Balance, but at the best balance. Russian Reload basically is, let's say I am shooting this guy with my shotgun. He runs away. I'm sprinting after him. My shotgun's going to reload while I'm sprinting. That's cool. I mean, yippee. It'd be better if it was all of your weapons. You would really never have to reload. You could just run around and that would reload your weapons. But having the shotgun reloaded is like, it's like the only time it's going to help you is when you forget to reload. But I guess you could save a few seconds because you don't need to stop and reload. You just sprint and reload. Next we have Soarin' Sprint. I would say this one is good and definitely on the upper half of goods. Basically this means when you sprint and jump higher. But when you sprint, or let's say, right, go back, sprint, Soarin' Sprint. When you jump normally, you jump higher. And when you sprint and jump, you have low gravity. Now, I don't know if you get shot with a low gravity, if it removes. So if that does happen, then it might be borderline, like, balance good. But having low gravity after you sprint is crazy. You can do some insane kind of maneuvers around the map. You can sprint and, like, jump over someone's box and take the wall on the other side. And I'd be like, what the fuck, where is this guy? You can fucking move around in endgame. You can be crazy with the movement. That's why I think Soarin' Sprint is definitely underrated. Next, we have Splash Medic. This is basically you have a chance to find a chug splash when you open a container. So this isn't breaking the coolers. You have to actually open them. Same with the chest. I'm going to put it in probably OP because is let's say you get this shit early game. You have 20 chests, 30 chests at your spot. That's one chug splash for every single chest that you open. Crazy. 30 chug splashes. Assuming that you get it on every one, you probably get like 15 chug splashes. But still, that's a ridiculous amount of chug splashes. Like, insane. I'd say that it's probably, probably put it like this and put Jelly Angler at the end for OP. But next we have Tactical Armory. So you get this perk, you get a combat shotgun, and you get attack AR. Attack AR is like that's again good if you're shambles. So it's again, you have like that assault rifle to bail you out. That's really good. That happens. And the combat shotgun is, I have to get it and test it out and see if it's really good, but I honestly think in comparison with the Maven, I think it's called, or the Haven shotgun and the Thunder pump, I think the combat is pretty good. So I'm going to put that in good, put it above the assault rifles like that. So this is my tier list. Here, shit, I have this. If I did move some stuff around, let's think. I might move Pistol Amp down to shit, or even Parkour probably down to shit. Yeah, I think that is it. So OP, we have Forecast, Light Fingers, Splash Medic, and Jelly Angler. In good, we have Aerialist, Soren, Sprints, Tactical Armory, Burst Assault, and Rifle Recycle. Balanced, we have Russian Reload, Bush Warrior, and Pistol Amp. And then shit, we have Bow Specialist and more Parkour. And then dog shit, we have like Bloodhound and Party Time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see any other types of tier list or whatever the fuck else you want to see. And yeah,